there's going to be another school strike for the climate on this week. Now, it couldn't be held on a Saturday because that's their weekend, so it's going to be on Friday. And already you got the children doing childish things like today, disrupting the Victorian Parliament and unfurling their banners to the smug approval of the grown-up children of the Greens Party. He loved it. Now, the idea of children wagging school to lecture Australians on how best to power our 21st century economy without going broke has split the Victorian government. The premiers of the left thinks it's great.
Rallies are a fundament, being able to come together and hold a rally, a peaceful rally, depending on the issue that you're concerned about or the issue that you're exercised about. That's a fundamental principle of our democracy. As we consider this issue of attendance or otherwise, that we give students and schools the respect and the space to work through these issues at the local level.
But a Deputy Premier and rival of the right think, well, children are actually best off learning before lecturing.
The 23rd of November is a school day, and the expectation is that normal attendance will be required and students will be encouraged to attend school.
Meanwhile, two global warming activists, Professor David Karoly and Dr Nick Abel, a Extinction Rebellion protester and honorary associate professor with the ANU's Fenner School of Environment and Society, they're issuing 6 certificates online saying such and such student, fill in your own name, is unfit to go to school due to a major health concern. Symptoms include increased anxiety from the federal government's ongoing climate policy inaction, elevated stress on seeing the impacts of climate emergency now in Australia and worldwide, so they should skip school instead. Protest. Nick Abel joins me now. Nick Abel, thank you very much for your time. Aren't you actually being dishonest, issuing fake certificates to kids you've never met, saying they're too sick to go to school but not too sick to protest?
Thanks for inviting me on the show, Andrew. The sick notes are given because the climate is sick. That's the symbolism of what these school children are doing, and there's nothing official about them. It's an endorsement by people like me saying,
it's dishonest.
We're with you. We're with you.
It's dishonest.
We're on your side. Yeah. And I'm very happy to endorse.
You say the students, well, look, well, A, it's dishonest, but B, I also think you're actually contributing to exactly the malady you think they're suffering from. You say the students have a major health concern, anxiety and stress about global warming. They're worried about global warming. It's not what global warming is actually doing to them, it's their stress about worrying it. Don't you add to that stress by telling children the world is, as you just said, sick or going to hell through global warming? Doesn't that make them more anxious?
Andrew, there's no question that the world as we now know it is headed for climate hell, given the present trajectory and the fact that we're still increasing, not decreasing, our emissions, and the fact that Australia is the world's 3rd largest exporter of fossil fuels. There's no question at all that we're headed for deep trouble. So the kids are not making this up, and it is my job. I'm terrified.
You're making it up. Yeah, but you're terrified.
Well,
but the thing is, seriously, the science is not with you that we're going to hell, that these kids face any serious impact in their lifetime. And I'm just wondering why you are terrifying children about something that might be in your mind. But if you go outside and look, the world is actually pretty safe and secure in terms of the weather, at any rate.
I wish you were right, Andrew. Sadly, you're so badly wrong. You really don't get and understand climate science about tipping points and about carbon stores, which will be released as soon as we cross certain temperature thresholds. We are on a track.
I've been waiting for that for years.
Trouble.
Never comes. No, but the reason is, you see, this prediction,
it's on track.
It's always going to come, you're
Andrew,
right?
You
remember
Andrew,
15
you need
years
to
ago,
read.
16 years ago, we were going to run out of water.
No idea
Sydney was
what
going
you
to run out of
read.
water. The dams wouldn't fill. You know, please.
I wish this was funny. I've no idea what you read, where you invent these ideas from. It's complete twaddle. And
that was Tim Flannery.
If you read
Tim Flannery, Climate Commissioner.
If you follow the 98% of climate scientists who absolutely,
well, that's a bogus statistic. You know that, don't you? That's a completely bogus statistic. Why are you repeating it?
Well, it's very, very hard to find a scientist who is not convinced about the reality of climate change. And I really wish that you were right.
The reality of climate change. You mean climate change catastrophe? I'll name you a few. I can name you a whole bunch, better credentialed than you.
I'm sure.
Right? No, I can. And Nersheviv and William Happer and all sorts of people, Richard Lindzen and people that actually believe in man-made global warming, but they don't believe in the catastrophe. And I'm just saying, here you are issuing a fake certificate about a fake catastrophe to kids that don't deserve to be terrified like this. And I think that's irresponsible, but I thank you for coming on the show to have your say. Nick